Hi, I'm Sarah, the Real Simple Mama, and today I'm going to give you a tour of our chicken coop. It's August 2017, and my family and we are new to backyard chickens, and they're right here with me. So we're going to give you a tour. You can see the coop in the background. It's made by Innovation Pet, and we got ours at Tractor Supply. It is a kit, so it will come with everything you need to put it together in your yard. So we're going to go check it out, and I bet that the girls are going to follow me. So here it is. This is the Innovation Pet chicken coop. It is a gray blue color. It ran us just under 200 bucks at Tractor Supply. And I'll tell you what I like and don't like about it. Overall, those are girls. Overall, we are really happy with this purchase. For us being new to backyard chickens, and again, we're not on a farm, we're just in a neighborhood. So we have a limit that used to be 6 birds and now it's only 3. So this has been really great for us. So like I said, this is a kit that will come assembled, and you can check out my article, the review, on realsimplemama.com to get all of the details, the good things and the bad things about it. So I'm just going to go around with it. The number one thing I like about this coop though is all of the vents and access. Hi girls. The vents and access that you've got. So if I'm pointing, here is a side window, there's the roosts in there, there's another window right here. Then if you come over on this side, you've got, there's the window. You can see they use hardware cloth throughout, which is way better than chicken wire. It's fantastic. That's my other favorite thing about this coop. You can see all the way around, it's all hardware cloth. This door, it opens here just on the top or just on the bottom, or you can open them both together. If you have to get in and clean anything out, that's the easiest way to do it. There goes Calypso inside. This is the big side door. It does come with that hook, so you could hook it up just like that. And that's the main way for them to get in and out. Hi girls. Hi girls. You see the ramp going up in there that goes up to their roost, and I'll show you that in just a second. The back side has there's no access here on this side at all. These, obviously the automated waterer and feeder, I'll do a separate video with those. But obviously that didn't come with this coop. The roof on this is really nice. It's almost like an asphalt. It's rough, it's super heavy duty. You want to put this coop in a shaded area, of course. But I'll show you, if you can see in here, there's just a little bit of venting that's up here. But overall, the air circulation is really great on this coop as well. If I could stick my hand up in here, I'd show you. There's a narrow area where the hot air can escape there. This door is really nice. And this opens up as a door also. But this is where, you have your pull-out tray where you can pull out and clean. We use PDZ inside, and it's been really great. It does come with 2 roosts on the inside, as well as an outdoor roost, which is right there. One thing I'll warn you, though, about this coop, it does advertise, at least on Tractor Supply's website, it advertised that this coop is good for 8 birds. There is not nearly enough room for 8 birds in here, even if they're just sleeping at night. I think it would be okay for 6. We used to have 6. We had 3 roosters. We had to rehome. So I think this coop would be okay for 6 birds if you're letting them free range during the day like we are. Obviously, our girls have plenty of room. But if they're living in this all day, hey Calypso, if they're living in it all day, I mean, you can see, there she is for perspective. There's not nearly enough room in there for 6 or especially for 8 birds. So this is where they'll sleep at night. You can see there's 1 roost there, 1 roost there. And then most coops will have some type of nesting box access right there. So here's the other window, slides really easily. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. It's got one of these predator-proof locks, which is also going to be Sarah-proof, it looks like. There it goes. And then there's the nesting boxes inside. Our girls are not laying yet, so those are the fake eggs to try to get them to figure it out. We use the pine bedding in here. The other thing that's nice, this nesting box piece, you have to build it, but the whole nesting box mechanism, you can take it out so that it's essentially the roosts with the tray. What, girls? Hi, girls. It's the roosts with the tray, and then you can leave the nesting boxes out. So when we first started having our chickens come outside full time, we didn't want them just sitting in the nesting boxes and pooping in it. You don't want to teach them that they get to just hang out in there. That's where they work. So we actually didn't put the nesting boxes in for like a month. So that's nice that you can have the nesting boxes removed. And I'll lock that back up in a minute. So overall, we are really, really, really happy with this kit. It was made really well. My husband put it together because I was watching our children. But he was really impressed with the way that all of the screws and the different components came packaged. Everything was labeled really well. So I'll give you a couple of other suggestions really quick. Again, I'll go over this also if you'd like to read it on realsimplemama.com, but some of this stuff is just better to show y'all than to have you just read. First of all, when you get your box, obviously it's going to be really heavy. It's going to be flat because you have to put everything together. The hardware cloth is already mounted on the pieces, which is great, but I would suggest before you assemble the coop, you waterproof any of the pieces that are going to be external. Or, I mean, I guess you could do it after you've built the coop, but it might be a little bit harder to make sure you get all of the surfaces. Go to any hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot, places like that. Tell them what you need the sealant for, and they'll direct you toward the appropriate sealant. So we made sure that we did that because this coop is not sealed. The roof is very waterproof, and it's built so that it's got an overhang that's really nice. But obviously this is wood. It's going to be outside, so make sure that you waterproof it. Additionally, make sure you put it in a shady place. We didn't really care what direction it faced. We just wanted to make sure it had plenty of shade. But I mean, I'm in South Texas. This is the west side of the house, so we get the afternoon sun. We have a really well-shaded yard overall, but we wanted to make sure that our girls wouldn't be getting too hot when they started to go in at night. Additionally, as you can see, our ground is pretty uneven, so we did have to level it out with some bricks and some dirt just to make it level. So you do want to have an idea of where you're going to put this thing before you start carrying it around the yard. It is very heavy. Additionally, if you wanted to, you could get some of the little mounting the wheels and put them on even just on one corner, and that way if you wanted to move the coop, you could just tilt it on its side and move it. We don't plan on moving ours around, but if you're concerned about you know, what they've got growing in there, because they'll eat all of any grass or weeds or whatever is in that area. So if you want to periodically move it around to give that area of the yard a break, you're going to want obviously to assemble the wheels on it before you put the coop down. As far as predator proofing is concerned, like I said, the hardware cloth is fantastic. I believe it's either just a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch. Let me look. Yeah. It's very, like, I have very small hands, and you can see how narrow this is. It's also very durable. You can't bend it at all. That hardware cloth that's throughout, maybe a small snake can get in there, but if you're talking a possum or a raccoon or a fox, a skunk, any of those kinds of predators, they're not going to be able to grab your birds at all, day or night. You are going to want to close those windows at night, of course, and lock everything up. But the hardware cloth is fantastic. But for additional predator proofing, at least around here in the San Antonio area where I am, the problem is that predators, if they can't get in easily up there, they will dig underneath the coop and go up in under that way. So what you want to do, and I'll try to zoom in, we did a cheap version of this type of predator proofing. This is just chicken wire, but you want to staple it to the coop itself and then have it around, and we actually pinned it to the ground. You can see with those pins, they go all the way around. Some people do even more. They'll dig a perimeter and they'll put the chicken wire in the ground. But essentially what you want to do is keep it so a predator can't just dig right up against the border and be able to get up into the coop, because a lot of times they'll do that. I've heard that raccoons, because they're so intelligent, they're very persistent. They'll come back night after night until they finally get in there. So you want to be really careful with that. Hi, Dottie Bird. But like I said, we are really, really happy with this coop. We don't plan on moving it around. As first-time chicken buyers, this is a very affordable coop. Like I said, the kit is going to be about $200, and we have no issues with it whatsoever. Again, the only thing I think is kind of a misnomer is when they say that this is okay for 8 birds, and it is definitely not, even if you let them free range. It was okay for 6, but definitely not 8. You can see inside there. So if they want 8 birds to be in here, then they're saying there should be 4 birds on each of these roosts, and there's no way that's going to happen. Let me go back over here one more time. So I'm looking in through the nesting boxes. We can get 3 of our girls to sit on one side if they want to. They all like to cuddle up together anyway. But this is not a coop for 8 birds. So just be careful. Think about your intentions before you're going to get one. But I hope this has given you a little bit better perspective on this Innovation Pet chicken coop. My girls really like it. We built it and had them start coming out here just locked up within the run down there for a couple of hours a day once they were fully feathered. That way when we first brought them out here, when they were living outside full time, it didn't freak them out. And now they have their own little haven over here. This is their chicken spa where they've got little roosts and we give them water and treats. They got watermelon today. And everything's nice and shaded. So just be really smart about whatever coop you're going to get, what purposes you have it for, how many birds you want, what your temperature and your climate is like where you are. But hopefully this has helped you decide if this coop is right for you. I appreciate you watching the video. Again, I'm Sarah, the Real Simple Mama, and I'll have more great content for you soon. Thanks.